Hey, what's up? I'm Steve Chapman, and this is a look at Fender's new Tone App 3.0 for iPad and iPhone. It controls the Fender Mustang GTX and GT Amplifier series. The sound you heard at the beginning of the video is from a tone that I built in the app and then published it on Fender Connect. You can download it for free today. Subscribe, like, and share for more tones, tips, and live looping demos where I put everything to work. All right, let's check out Fender Tone for iOS.
All right, here we are on my iPad home screen. In the bottom left-hand corner, I've got the Fender Tone app. I'm going to click that now. That takes me right here. You'll see at the green, the Bluetooth connected. It automatically reconnected to Bluetooth, which is great. I had set that up previously. Now, the main two sections of the app are the left-hand side, where you can scroll through all these different tones and presets, which is really cool. And on the right-hand side, you've got your amp and your pre and post effects. I'll come back to the items at the top and the bottom. There's some navigation and editing functions up there. All right, so the first amp up is the Twin Reverb Clean here. So if I tap on the amp right in the middle of the screen, it opens up for a closer view. And now I've got my gain, my volume, treble, middle, bass, along with a cabinet down there in the bottom right. If I want to adjust the level on this amp, I can touch the gain, for example, and sort of spin it around like an intuitive knob. Or if that's hard, because sometimes people don't know how to go left or right or top to bottom, I get mixed up. You can tap it and it pulls up this, which is just a up or down way to move it from 0 to 10 or 11, if that's how you know about amps. So that's a pretty cool way to do it. You just tap on things and lower the volume, tap again, and it goes off. All right, before we leave the amp, I'll change the cabinet. You can see the cabinet down there. I tap that. And I can easily change out the cabinet that the amp is going to. Let's move it to a 59 bassman cabinet. I check that, I hit done, and now I've got a twin reverb going into a bassman cabinet. Also, at the bottom, if I click the gear icon, when I'm in an amp, I can manage a couple of different settings. My favorite is the noise gate. I usually bump mine to high or super, just to get rid of a lot of the buzz and hum that go on when you're not playing an actual note. Keeps recording quiet while you're doing other things. There's sag and bias and some more advanced features for people that know tube amp settings real well as well. So let me hop out of there. I hit done. So if I hit the arrow in the top left-hand corner, that takes me back here, in which case I can tap on the red. Now I'm in my pre-effects. This is a simple compressor. Again, I can spin that around or I can tap it and it pulls up the more segmented options there. I can turn off the effect by just tapping the button like a foot switch right there. You can see on and off. I'm tapping the silver button above Simple Comp, or I can hit the bypass on or off right there. If I hit the top left arrow again, I'm back here. So I can do the same thing here on the right if I tap the spring reverb. Here's a good look at the spring reverb. I can spin the levels if I want to. I can tap one, so here's the decay, and bump it down to 3.8. I tap again to come off, turn it off and on. Pretty cool. I'm going to hit the back arrow in the top left-hand corner again, and that takes me here. Now, one cool thing, instead of hitting that back arrow a lot, if I go into the simple compressor, it is a chain, so I can swipe to the right to get to my amp, swipe again to get here, and I can go, can't go any further. I can go back left and back left again, and I can't go any further. Actually, look at that, it took me right home. So let's click through some of the amps here. If I go to Classic Rock on the left, I've got my British 80s amp. It looks a good bit like a Marshall, of course. If I go back one here, here's Country Twang, Uber Metal. Here's a Blues Junior. What's really cool is they really look just like the real thing here. If I hop back in, here's the Bass Breaker. Really cool. I can play around with those. Again, if I touch one, I can adjust the settings. Let's go way down the list here. Blues 1951, check out that. Excelsior. And you can see different pre and post effects as well. All right, so let's take a look at how to change your effects here. If I click the blue compressor, if I want to switch that out to something else, I could hit the trash can button, that'll just trash it, but I hit the little left and right arrows over there in the bottom left, and I can change it to, say, a 7-band EQ. I click that and I hit done, and now I've got a full EQ pedal right there. So that was how to swap them out. Let's say I want to trash one. Again, I click the sign chorus, I hit the trash can. Do I want to delete it? Let's say, yep, done. I could also add one by clicking the pre-effects words right above that 7-band EQ. It lets me add a pedal like that. I hit done. There's the fuzz. Alternately, in the plus sign, there's a plus sign in the top right-hand corner. If I click that plus sign, I can add another one. Let's say I add the orange box. I hit done, and it added it there. So let's say I want to move one of my pedals from the left side to the right side, or vice versa. See the dots in the top right-hand corner? If I click those, I get this. I can rename my preset, duplicate it, I can clear it out, I can even share it. We'll talk about that in a minute. Or I can hit reorder. If I hit reorder, it pulls this up. So let's say I want to move the orange box to the end of the chain, from the beginning to the end. Not necessarily what I would do, but if I do that and hit done, you can see there it moved it way over there to the right, and I can sort of scroll around right there. All right, so that's how to navigate through some tones on the left and manage your amps and your pre and post effects. Let's say you do want to find a couple other tones, though. You can use the search button in the top left-hand corner. If I type in metal, pulls up a bunch of metal stuff. I click one click away on hair metal, and there I am. Pretty cool. If I want to build a preset from scratch, I click the plus sign in the top left-hand corner. I can give it a name, and I can pick my amp. It creates it from scratch. And again, there's the edit button. I can delete things, move them around, reorder them. Pretty cool. So let's look at saving and not saving presets. If I tap the green or aqua triangle chorus, and then I hit the trash can button to delete it, I can now click the save button in the top right, but I don't want to. I don't want to tamper with this preset right now. If I did, it would save it, but since I didn't, let me hop over to 180. I'm going to come back to 181 hair metal, and you can see it's back. So as long as you don't click the save button, everything you do is temporary. Now, another cool thing is this FX button with the X icon next to it. If you want to just hear the amp alone, click that one button, turns off all the effects on the left and right side in one big swoop, an instant way to bypass everything and just hear the sound of the amp. So let's take a look at the bottom left-hand corner. The first thing we've been on the whole time is My Presets. If I click Set Lists, this takes me into a place where I can manage groupings. So I have a favorites here. There's nothing in it. If I click Add Preset, let's say I want to add these 5 things in there, or 3 things in there, hit Save. Now I've got them. My favorites playlist has number 1, number 6, and number 11. Right there. If I would like to delete them, I can delete them out of the set list. It doesn't delete them from the amp. And it clears it out, and now my favorites list is empty. So if I hit the arrow at the top left-hand corner, it brings me back here, and let's say I want to add a new set list. I want to make one called Metal. I hit that, and I now have to select a couple presets. So let's say Master of Mullets. I can guess what that one is. And I don't know, I'm just clicking on some. I'm not even going to pay attention. If I hit save right there, I now have a metal. And in there is number 21, 37, 32, and 30. So it's a neat way to organize genres, or if you're going to be performing, you can get all your tones and songs in a row and edit them and get them ready for a show. So in the top right-hand corner there, I can also rename my preset. I can remove the ones that are in there in one shot, I believe, and I can delete the set list. For now, I'm going to click that arrow in the top left-hand corner, and this takes me back here. Now look at the bottom. If I go to download, it takes me here, which is the Fender Tone community. It's a place I can go by genre here: rock, pop, country, etc. Featured. I've got artist ones, Joe Bonamassa, popular, etc. So I've got all these different presets that I can choose from. I can try them out, or I can add them to my amp. So it's a neat way to get other tones right here without having to rebuild them or just go by the presets. Now, one cool thing here is if I go to recent right here, it's going to pull up all the different presets. And if you scroll down, looks like fourth on the list, Clean One from Loop Anything. This is one that I built. So if I tap that, it pulls up clean lush tone on a Fender 65 Deluxe with hall reverb and stereo tape delay. So I built this loop, and let's hop over here back to my presets on the bottom left. I actually built it, not this loop, this preset earlier. It's number 191. So this is a good example of a preset that I built. It ended up being number 190, and then I shared it on the community. So this is a pretty cool example where I built something from scratch and I was able to share it. If you want to get this tone, you can go and download it yourself. I'm going to be publishing and creating a bunch more, including making live loops and songs, using them and featuring them in upcoming videos. So subscribe or follow me on the community store there just to grab them all for free. So let's take a look at the bottom right hand corner, the last menu item, which is settings. It shows that I'm connected up there at Fender Connect. I'm connected to Bluetooth, a tuner for tuning, and there's a separate app you can download as well. I've got my Wi-Fi. Probably the biggest thing in this area is the EQ settings. I've got some amp settings which control the overall EQ in addition to the pedal EQs that you can choose from. I can register, help, privacy, and then it shows all the other apps you can get from Fender right there. So that's a look at the Fender Tone app for iPad 2020. Again, if you'd like to, go download Clean One from Loop Anything. I'm going to be doing a bunch more videos and tones where I create these and publish them. They're free on this Fender Connect area. And check out my live looping videos for more. youtube.com/loopanything. Hope you enjoy. Thanks.